Hello, this is Brian. Oh no, not again. Not again. Oh. Mold? Standing water? Wood rot? Rodents and termites? Oh boy, this is gonna be a train wreck. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brian Taylor with Dreamline Realty in Charlotte, North Carolina. And today we're talking about the number one thing that will cause a real estate deal to fall apart. And it's also the number one issue we tackle with home inspections. And I've always said, if there's gonna be something wrong with the house, it's gonna be in the crawl space. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that red subscribe button below and then click the bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out every week. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up as well. Okay, so about 15% of houses across the country have crawl spaces. And if your lot has any kind of slope to it, it will likely have a crawl space as well. And crawl spaces were designed to house plumbing, electrical wiring, ductwork, air conditioning and heating systems, and to provide easy access to these substructures. But the problem with crawl spaces is they can rapidly become filthy and damp. And the flooring in a crawl space is nothing but dirt. And if the crawl space isn't taken care of properly, it can create elevated levels of moisture and cause all sorts of problems. So let's talk about the most common problems we see with crawl spaces, and then we'll talk about the best ways to ensure that the crawl space is adequately maintained. Problem number one is wood rot. Excessive moisture levels can cause serious issues with wood rot, which ultimately compromises the structural integrity of the house. Problem number two is mold, mildew, and fungus. So untreated moisture levels allow mold to grow, which can eventually rot the floor joists. Not only that, it can enter the house through damaged and torn ductwork. And breathing in mold is a serious health concern that can cause serious damage, especially to people who have asthma and allergies. Problem number three is pest infestation. So crawl spaces that aren't properly sealed could be an invitation for insects and critters. And the warmth and moisture found in crawl spaces attracts rodents, mice, spiders, and snakes. And their droppings, actually, if left unattended, can also cause health hazards. And it's because of the warmth of crawl spaces that become a breeding ground for termites, which eats away at the wood rot and the components of the home structure, causing significant damage. And in North Carolina, termites are very active and they love these warm environments. And treating termites is very expensive, especially if they've already eaten away half of the floor joists and house. Problem number four is standing water. When foundation walls are not properly sealed or water is not diverted away from the foundation, it can make its way into the crawl space. This standing water elevates moisture levels very quickly and increases the rate of insect infestation as well. Problem number five is poor insulation. When moisture levels are high, the insulation gets wet and becomes damaged, further increasing the rate of mold growth. And because it gets wet, it's not uncommon to see falling insulation or no insulation at all in these crawl spaces. Okay, so how do we avoid these problems and protect your investment with a super dry crawl space? A well-designed crawl space should contain a few critical items to control moisture levels while keeping them as low as possible. First, it should have a vapor barrier. And remember, the flooring in a crawl space is dirt, and the ground moisture has to be controlled. A vapor barrier is a thin layer of plastic that is placed over the crawl space floor. And this vapor barrier alone is a great first step to a dry crawl space. It should also have crawl space vents to allow outside air to circulate to prevent moisture buildup, especially in the hot summer months of North Carolina. Next, there should be a properly installed dehumidifier that is piped to the outside of the house. And this dehumidifier will suck up extra moisture and pump it out of the crawl space. The average dehumidifier will pump out 8 gallons of water a day if needed. And if you want to get real fancy, you could have the entire crawl space encapsulated, which means that all of the walls are covered in a similar vapor barrier material. Now this is very expensive, but well worth the cost, as it will keep the entire crawl space protected against wood rot. It will keep pests from intruding, and if properly insulated, it will keep your energy costs low as well. Okay, so when we show houses, we don't get on our hands and knees and make our way through the crawl space. Some of these crawl spaces are only about 3 feet tall, so we have to count on our home inspectors to do that kind of work. However, if the crawl space is high enough for us to walk into it, or if we have enough room to crouch down and take a look, we'll do that because we want to make sure we see as much of the crawl space as we can, because our clients might be potentially making an offer on this house. And the more that we can see before we present an offer gives us a better idea of the crawl space condition. And with the small crawl spaces, we'll at least open the crawl space door and see if there's a vapor barrier there, or see if we can spot any standing water. But there's only so much that we can determine without having the proper equipment that a home inspector has. I hope this video was helpful, and if you need someone to do a crawl space evaluation when you buy your next house, just reach out. We have several companies that we work with on a regular basis that specialize in crawl space repair, and our contact information is in the video description below. And to get a copy of my free book, Buying Your Dream Home, where I break down the whole entire home buying process, just click the link in the description as well. And you may want to check out this video where I discuss why you need a home inspection. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.